clause so and so and so and so. So now, why are we singling out one company? One company. And where did this company come from? Then further down the page on page 76, repayment upon relocation outside the United States. In general, if a person receives a loan under paragraph 1 to finance the cost of equipping, expanding, or establishing a manufacturing facility as described in subsection C1A, or to reduce the energy intensity of a manufacturing facility, and such person relocates the production activities of such manufacturing facility outside the United States. So we recognize here that we're going to force companies to take their jobs and ship them overseas. It's right here in the bill. I'm glad it's recognized by my colleagues. Then we get to page 80. To support manufacturers in their identification and diversification to new markets. Another admission that the bill before us is going to kill millions of small businesses and even tens of millions of jobs. So that we have to have an effort in here to support manufacturers and in their identification and diversification into new markets. Then we get to page 83. Consumer behavior research. The Secretary of Energy is authorized to establish a research program to identify the factors affecting consumer actions to conserve energy and make improvements in energy efficiency. Through the program, the Secretary will make grants to public and private institutions of higher education to study the effects of consumer behavior on total energy use. Do we really need to spend government money to do a study on why people don't want to pay twice the cost and get half the quality? All right, we get to page 87. The development of a global framework for the regulation of greenhouse gas emissions from civil aircraft that recognizes the uniquely international nature of the industry and treats commercial aviation industries in all countries fairly. Will this include China and India? Can't tell from the amendment that we've got in front of us. On page 92, we want to make sure that the structure have appropriate electrical outlets within the facility and capacity to recharge a standard electric passenger vehicle, including an electric hybrid vehicle where such vehicle would normally be parked. Now, we're not just going to take the California standard and impose it on every community in America. Oh, no. Now, we're going to tell you where the electric outlets are going to be and how big they have to be to charge a hybrid vehicle. I just don't understand whether this would apply to nursing homes where there are no cars. Oh, here we are on page 96. Existing structures. For existing structures, a reduction in energy consumption from the previous level of consumption for the structure as determined in accordance with energy audits performed both before and after any rehabilitation or improvements undertaken to reduce such consumption that exceeds the reduction necessary for compliance with the energy efficiency standards under subsection A, then in effect and applicable to existing structures. So not only are we going to tell every community in America what the building codes are going to be, what the efficiency standards are going to be, but if you make changes to your house, you have to have another study done to show how much increase in energy efficiency was gained. That'll help sell a lot of new houses and a lot of old ones. All right, page 97. For manufactured housing, Energy Star rating with respect to fixtures, appliances, and equipment in such housing, such as standard or successor standard, is in effect for purposes of this section. Please, is there anything that we're not regulating in this bill? How about page 105? Waive or modify any existing statutory or regulatory provision that would otherwise impair the implementation or effectiveness of the demonstration program under this section, including provisions relating to methods for rent adjustments, comparability standards, maximum rent schedules, and utility allowances. Notwithstanding the preceding provisions of this paragraph, the Secretary may not waive any statutory requirement related to fair housing, non-discrimination, labor standards, or the environment. Now, in implementing this demo program, rising rent can be dismissed out of hand, but labor standards or the environment cannot, as I read it. Let me get to page 107. No amounts made available under the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act of 2009 can be used to carry out the demonstration program under this section. So if no stimulus funds can be used, the majority claims stimulus funds are for job creation. Is this demo going to create one new job? I don't think so. Let me get to page 112. Additional credit for Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac housing goals for energy-efficient and location-efficient mortgages. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Now, everybody listen up here. It's not enough that we've got huge problems with Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. They are at the core of the credit meltdown we've had in our country. But we're going to give them a little more money so that they can have goals for energy-efficient and location-efficient mortgages. Now we're going to tell Fannie and Freddie what kind of mortgages we're going to have in the marketplace. How about page 113? Supports housing that complies with enhanced energy efficiency and conservation standards or the green building standards under Section 284 of such act. This is just the federal government using Fannie and Freddie to impose new federal building codes and standards across the country. Let me get to page 114. The Federal Housing Enterprises Financial Safety and Soundness Act of 1992, as amended by the Federal Housing Finance Regulatory Reform Act of 2008. If this is supposed to be about energy, why are we further bogging it down with trying to solve problems for Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac? Page 115. The term energy-efficient mortgage means a mortgage loan under which the income of the borrower, for purposes of qualification for such loan, is considered to be increased by not less than $1 for each dollar of savings projected to be realized by the borrower as a result of cost-effective energy-saving designs. I'm sure that'll create a lot of jobs. And then we get to page 141. The Cranston-Gonzalez National Affordable Housing Act is amended. Why are we amending the Cranston-Gonzalez National Affordable Housing Act? I thought we were doing an energy bill here. Page 142. Use of building materials and methods that are healthier for residents of the housing, including the use of building materials that are free of added known carcinogens that are classified as Group 1 known carcinogens by the International Agency for Research on Cancer. We're going to outline the building materials as well, it appears. Then we have a grant program to increase the sustainability of low-income community development capacity. We're going to provide loans, grants, or pre-development assistance to eligible community development organizations or qualified youth service and conservation corps to carry out energy efficiency improvements. I just want to know if Acorn would qualify for these grants. And then on page 146, we have another